Putting together a daily lesson is the end result of a very complex planning process. First, the teacher has to determine the overall curriculum to be taught and then divides up the content into lessons and writes specific lesson objectives, and then finally selects a lesson model. A lesson is used to help students attain a very specific short-term objective, and it typically has a clear beginning and ending and lasts a few hours at most, and then is followed by an evaluation of each student's learning that's in relation to the particular objective that's been stated. Then a series of lessons that lead to the attainment of this long-term objective or objectives along with activities is combined into a unit of instruction. Now, lessons can be taught to teach specific skills and information very directly, or it can give students the opportunity to discover this information on their own or with their peers and groups. The type of content that can be taught through lessons is extremely diverse. Lessons are typically used to teach academic content, to develop study skills, social skills, problem solving skills, and so on. Now, a lesson plan is a written description of how students will progress toward a specific short-term objective. It very clearly describes the teacher's statements and actions, which the teacher hopes will result in student learning. And there are 8 generic components that we'll go through here. First is pre-planning task, and this helps the teacher think through the content that's going to be taught and includes connection analysis and a content analysis. The lesson setup prepares students for the beginning of the lesson, and it includes strategies for gaining attention and a plan for communicating behavior expectations. The lesson opening is designed to prepare students for the learning that is to come, and usually has a strategy designed to motivate and focus students. It also has another strategy to connect new learning to their prior learning. So this is where we bring in prior knowledge. The lesson body is the actual instruction and practice that takes place. And this is going to vary according to the lesson model that's used. And then extended practice has a plan for additional practice so that students can develop high levels of fluency with the content. And the lesson closing helps the students tie it all together. And then the evaluation is that point in the lesson where it's determined whether the students met the objective. And the last component is editing task. And this is where the teacher evaluates the plan to make sure important instructional and management skills have been included. Also, you evaluate congruence. So all lesson plans have the same generic components that need to be included, but an individual lesson plan should reflect the model of instruction to be used in that lesson. The order in which you write the various components of a lesson plan does not correspond to the order in which they're presented. Remember, when writing a useful plan, you want to be very detailed, but you don't have to write every word that you actually will say. But you do need to have some specific details here. And as a novice teacher, more details are probably better for you than less details, so that you can make sure you cover all the content you want to have in there. And you might have a shorter version to refer to when you teach, or You just might set up a lesson plan template that is easy for you to read. So that might include a lesson plan template that you design for yourself that has boxes or checklists or is color coded or something along those lines so that you can easily go to different sections of your lesson plan while you're teaching and you can use it while you're teaching. Lesson plans should be useful. They should not just be something we do to jump through hoops. Make sure that you have a lesson plan template that you actually can use and that you actually know what you're going to say and what you're going to teach in your lesson.